first time I talked about domestic violence was the Ray Rice incident. I was doing Miami radio and I had never talked about my experiences publicly before, but I started to see the tide turn on the situation to people asking why she had stayed and, what would compel somebody to be in that situation. And it became a toxic victim blaming situation more and conversation more than asking why would someone be abusive or why would someone not be able to control their temper in that situation or why would someone feel comfortable putting their hands on a woman. And I'm starting to see that kind of same narrative out there now because of this trial. And again, this isn't about Diddy or Cassie or anyone else that's in the trial. I just want to have a conversation about the idea of staying in an abusive relationship and why that happens. You are not with someone you don't have a relationship with. There is a very big difference between assault and abuse. If someone walks up to you on the street and punches you in the face, you're not then going to date them because they've assaulted you. If you are with someone for an extended amount of time and they have told you that they love you, you live with this person, or you're in a deep relationship, an intimate relationship with this person, you trust them with your money, you trust them with your body, you are around their family, and then they have proceeded to start to deteriorate your confidence by picking at you, separating you from your inner circles, making you distrust people that will be honest with you, and then they hit you, that is abuse. And it is not as easy as you think to have someone that you were intimate with and trust and love betray you and then apologize in the most dramatic fashion to help convince you that they are going to change and they really just need your help and they can't do it without you. And all of these things that are pulling at every different part of your emotion while you're in shock that you have been attacked. That is not the same thing as assault. That is not the same thing as a person that you have no emotional attachment to causing you physical harm. So when we talk about abuse, when we're talking about domestic violence, when we're talking about sexual abuse, when we're having these conversations publicly, I just encourage people not to default to why did the person stay or why was this person in this situation? And yes, every situation may be different, which is why I'm not speaking specifically to this case and what may come out of it. And is this person compliant with what was going on? I'm not getting into all that. I'm talking specifically about the conversation that always comes up whenever domestic violence hits the cultural waves. 41% of women and 26% of men experience sexual violence, physical violence, or stalking by an intimate partner in their lifetime. One woman or girl is killed every 10 minutes by their intimate partner or family member. Globally, every 10 minutes, a woman or girl is killed by their intimate partner or family member. 60% of all female homicides are committed by an intimate partner or a family member. This happens all the time, all over the world. Different levels of economic status. It doesn't matter your race. It doesn't matter what country, what religion. It crosses all boundaries. And more people than you think have experienced this around you. So I just urge you, when you speak publicly about people that are sexually abused or are physically abused or emotionally abused or financially abused, that you don't default to, well, why didn't you just leave? That makes it harder for people to have these conversations publicly. I've talked about my experiences many times publicly, and it's why I can speak about it so confidently and without the anxiety that I had when I first started talking about it. But it's because, unfortunately, I'm very well versed in how this works. It's not that simple. People don't just walk up to you, punch you in the face, and then you marry them. That is not how it works. It is meticulous. It is manipulative. It is extensive. It is intentional. There is a lead up to abuse. There is a system. There is a narcissistic gaslighting process that deteriorates your ability to make rational decisions for yourself. That is what abuse is. Again, this isn't about Diddy or Cassie or any of the other people that are involved in this case. I just want to talk about the conversations that people are having online about it. Ask questions to the people around you. Do a little bit of research. Watch some interviews from someone who has left an abusive situation. Have some empathy for the fact that this is something that many, many people experience. Not just women, children, elderly people. It's the LGBTQ plus community. There's no limitations to this. And if you want to be an empathetic person, if you want to move the conversation forward, just educate yourself and ask questions. It doesn't always have to be accusatory, especially in these situations. And then you wonder why people don't feel comfortable coming out, why it takes decades to tell the truth. Why wouldn't it be? Why would you want to deal with being blamed for the abuse that you experienced? It makes no sense. So that's my piece on domestic violence for this particular chapter. And unfortunately, I'm sure I'll have to have the conversation again.